SERVIEW Knowledge Nuggets. What is a service? What is a service? From now on, we will always use the triangle as a symbol to describe the term service. In Itil, we speak of a service as a means of enabling value co-creation by facilitating outcomes that customers want to achieve, without the customer having to manage specific costs and risks, for instance making phone calls, transferring data, or generally communicating. A service represents a relationship between a provider and a consumer. By consumers, we mean users, as users of the service, customers who purchase the service for their users, or sponsors who provide the funds to purchase services, the last usually in the context of larger organizations. The provider offers the services and makes them available to the consumers. A service is described as a service offering. The service offering consists of three components: goods, for example the smartphone; access to resources, for example the ability to make phone calls over the mobile phone network; and so-called service actions, for example the provider's supporting activities such as support or other assistance and services. The unique feature of goods within the scope of a service offering is that the responsibility for their use is transferred to the consumer, that is, the provider is usually not liable in the event of a defect. Access to resources, in this case, is temporary access to services of the provider, for example, the use of a mobile phone network. In detail, services consist of resources of the provider, such as hardware, software, employees, activities, and so on, which, as customized configurations, offer products for creating services. The term product offers a kind of intermediate level to sharpen the meaning of the resources with regard to the creation of added value within the framework of service offerings. A service example: Carla customer and the broken smartphone. Carla customer and the broken smartphone. This is Carla customer. Carla is 24 years old. Carla is a digital native and works as a fashion influencer. Carla loves her smartphone more than anything. After all, it is also her main working tool. During one of her last missions at a trade fair in Milan, Carla unfortunately dropped her smartphone to the floor and now has a cracked display. And now the smartphone is also continuously crashing. Carla is getting more and more frustrated and has a lot of problems to do her work and especially to communicate with her friends. Carla uses a service offer of a large mobile phone provider. She has been a customer there for 2 years. When she signed her contract 24 months ago, she had bought a smartphone at a reduced price. Unfortunately, this is now broken, and Carla contacts the hotline of the mobile phone provider with her request. There she talks to Paul. Paul is very happy to take care of Carla's request. Unfortunately, Paul can only help Carla to a limited extent in the case of a dropped smartphone. She is ultimately responsible for the use and maintenance of her smartphone. The access to the mobile phone network works perfectly, but Paul has an idea. Fortunately, another 24 months of contract have already passed, and Carla can buy a new smartphone at a reduced price. Carla likes this idea and renews her contract with a mobile phone provider directly. 2 days later, Carla is... Are you interested? Just visit us on our website, www.serview-group.com.